All the great ones, the counterpunchers, they did it beautifully. They made you miss and they made you pay.
Yeah.
That's boxing. And the judging of it, you just can't judge. I mean, not that Casimero was that effective, but the other guy is so less effective that you got to give him the fight regardless.
Yeah, nobody really trains for boxing to, you know, track and field and things of that nature. But what do you feel about this match of the preparation? You know, how many days of sparring did Manny Pacquiao or Ugas have for each other? Do you think it's gonna come into play?
Well, all I can say, for a left-hander to go to fight a right-hander, it's a natural. That's normal. They do it their whole lives. For a right-hander to move to fight a left-hander, and not any left-hander, Manny Pacquiao, who you can't even really prepare for. You know, you could spar with guys, but nobody emulates Manny like Manny. So I think it's definitely at a disadvantage for Ugas. I think Manny's fine. You know, he did about 30 rounds that last week, sparring with right-handers, but it's just a natural transition for him.
Yeah.
Whereas Ugas is going to have a lot of trouble, and I can't remember the last left-hander Ugas has been in the ring with.
You think that you think Ugas style is tailor-made for Manny Pacquiao?
I think absolutely. I mean, when your feet are slow, you're in trouble. I mean, Miguel Cotto's not that slow, and man, they were coming from all sides, whatever. Now that was, you know, quite a few years ago. It just depends. If it's Manny Pacquiao that fought Keith Thurman, that game is over.
Yeah.
Sean,
You know?
was there any hesitancy for you? Just Ugas is a real guy, you know what I mean? He's just unknown. He's kind of been that guy that is more risk than reward. Were you kind of like, maybe we should wait, see what happens with Spence, or were you kind of on board? What you know, where were you sitting on that?
Well, like you said, the risk and reward is getting paid very well still, but it. I'm not sleeping on Ugas, and I'm not saying overlooking him when I say Manny's going to stop him. I just feel it's the right style for Manny. As a matchmaker, I just feel he's right, you know, and he's just never been in the ring with someone like Manny. And I watched Abel Ramos buzz him twice, you know, his legs went, and he hasn't been training like the guy that fought Sean Porter. He was up in Washington, D.C. with the Cuban protest. His mindset was Fabian Madonna. So he had a week or 10 days, whatever the time was, the switch and getting gears for Manny Pacquiao, which there's no pressure on him. No one expects anything out of him. So in that case, you know, he's going to feel good in there. But man, you've never been in with Manny Pacquiao. You have a lot of ideas, like Mike Tyson said, until someone hits you in the mouth, and all of a sudden it's going to be a whole different game.
Shane Manny right now at 42.
Sean, from the #1 radio station in the Philippines, Bombo Radio. What do Filipinos expect for the fight of Manny Pacquiao and also Mark Magsayo?
Well, first of all, Mark Magsayo, expect fight of the night type fight. Julio Ceja brings the heat, just like your Mexican fighters. I mean, he comes forward, he doesn't stop. Mark has a Bruce Lee kind of style. He bounces, he moves, throws a lot of combinations, good punching. That to me is the fight of the night right there. Senator Pacquiao, just, you know, never in a bad fight. He's going to come out as he always does. He's going to use his speed, his movement, his power, and him and Ugas are going to be very entertaining.
And for Casimero, what do we expect for Casimero this coming few months? Do we have?
There's only two fights. There's only
Inoue?
two fights. There's only two fights. They got to happen. Donaire, Inoue. I don't know what order, but that's it. Casimero does not need to fight anybody else. Those two fights need to happen.
And
that's
can you say Basta Radio Bombo?
Buster Radio. Say it again.
Basta Radio Bombo.
Buster Radio Bamba.
Again,
Sorry.
Basta Radio Bombo.
Buster Radio Bamba.
Thank you.
Sean, real quick, 42-year-old Manny Pacquiao, when you saw him in the gym and everything, do you think we're going to get that again? How confident are you that the Senator, you know, will give us another fight, or is this, you know, maybe we got to cherish this one because it might be it?
You know, I tell all the fight fans who are buying it on pay-per-view or coming out to the T-Mobile, you got a chance to see a living legend. So we can never say when it'll be your last, but anything can happen in boxing. I feel comfortable that he's going to win, he's going to do it right, he's going to have one more. But even a chance, even if he never fights again in the U.S., come out, tune in, watch it. Don't sleep on Ugas. Still going to be a good fight, but I just think he's the right guy at the right time for the Senator.
And if he becomes the president, do you think, I don't know, is that going to work with politics, with him being able to come back and fight?
When he goes to run for president, that's it. Yeah, you can't. You can be the fighting senator, but not the fighting president. You fight every day as a president, but just in different ways.
Right.
Sean,
Thanks,
people
guys.
mentioning kind of the age of Manny and not being active over the last couple of years. Do you think people are focusing on that a bit too much?
Only way to tell that'll be Saturday night. Again, being in the gym every day with him, watching him, condition-wise, he's phenomenal. I don't see that ring rust. And the senator, he's never, like, in between fights, he's always kept himself in very good shape. He eats right, gets the proper rest. So I don't think ring rust will be a big deal. And not like Ugas. I think when was his last fight? 2019? Whatever. He's
Yeah, he fought like
Yeah,
once.
yeah.
well, he fought Abel Ramos during the
Yeah,
period.
yeah.
So, and I watched that fight, and that wasn't, I mean, they called it a split. I think he won unanimous. But in the third round, buzzed, and if you watch the 12th round with about 15 seconds left, he was stumbling, and unfortunately the bell rang. So I think that fight's just going to be an extension of what's going to happen here. Where Ramos almost finished, Senator's going to finish it.
Perfect. Thank you, Sean.
Thanks, guys.